Hello, hello. Okay, so very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Goscore Learning, GCC's fastest moving edtech. So, dear students, you are at the verge of examination, right? So, in this session, we are going to discuss about the chapter ecosystem. Okay, you know, in our textbook, it is the 12th chapter, and the things we have to study in this chapter is very easy topics. Okay, let's see what are the different topics that comes under this chapter. Okay, so if you're looking into this chapter, we can see the content as we have to study about what is ecosystem. Okay, so what we have to study? We have to study about definition of ecosystem and how does the ecosystem is composed of. Okay, so what is next one we have to study in this chapter? It is about types of ecosystem. What are the different types of ecosystem present in this biosphere? Okay. Third one, we have to understand about different components which forms an ecosystem. How an ecosystem is made up of. Okay, so that is the third point that or third topic that we have to study. Then next topic we have to study about is productivity. Okay, productivity and also the different type of productivity we have to look into deeper. Okay, so next after productivity we have to study about decomposition. What is decomposition? It is very easy. Already we have a prior understanding from 10th grade, and from here we will be discussing with decomposition and what are its various steps involved in decomposition and what are the factors influencing in decomposition process. Okay, last we have to understand about energy flow. How the energy which is formed in plants is transferred into animals, then how it is transformed into the next level, that is decomposes. Okay, so we have to understand how energy is flowing in ecosystem. Also, we have to understand about types of ecological pyramids. Okay, there are different ecological pyramids. We will discuss later ecological pyramids and their limitation. What are the different limitation of these different ecological pyramids? Okay, so this is a very simple, very small, very simple chapter which we have to study about the things that is depending or that is quite similar with our own nature. So if you observe our nature properly, then you can understand the topic. Okay. So first I have to ask you a question. What is an ecosystem? Okay, let's start with definition of ecosystem, and we will know or will come to know what is an ecosystem. That is the question. Okay, what is an ecosystem, dear students? See, we have different organisms in our biosphere, right, or in our nature. Okay, we human beings are also considered to be an organism, living organism. So we can just simply say ecosystem is the interaction of both the living components and the non-living components. Okay, so if you're considering, see, I am standing here, right? So I have an interaction with the non-living substances such as what we can say air. Okay, air is non-living, right? So I have an interaction with an air. So we can say we have to understand that it is the interaction between non-living or substances and the living organisms. Okay, let's define ecosystem. Let's define ecosystem. An ecosystem is the function unit of nature. Understand? It is the functional unit. Okay. When we are studying tissues, we will study what are tissue or what is a cell. Okay. Consider a organism. If you are considering an organism, if you are saying about a cell, we'll say cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Likewise, we can see ecosystem is the function unit of nature. Okay, ecosystem is the functional unit of nature what happens there where living organism interacts. Okay, where living organism interacts among themselves and also with surrounding physical environment. That means it is interacting with non-living substances or non-living parts. Okay, you got an idea, right? How to define an ecosystem? It is the functional unit of nature where living organisms interacts themselves. Okay, it interacts themselves and also it interacts with the surrounding physical environment. Okay, is it clear? So we'll understand. We understood about ecosystem and how to define ecosystem. Okay, so what next? What are the different classification of ecosystem? Okay, so here we can see three different classification. Ecosystem can be classified as terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, terrestrial ecosystem means if there is no water present or the soil, within the soil or within the land area, we can consider to be the terrestrial ecosystem. So in terrestrial ecosystem, we can see the examples as forest, grassland, desert, etc. Okay, we can find the ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem as forest, grassland and desert. Okay, next ecosystem, what is next ecosystem? It is aquatic ecosystem. Okay, where there is rich in water. Okay, it is this ecosystem are present in water rich area. So we can say pond is an aquatic ecosystem. Okay, pond is an aquatic system. Lake is an aquatic system. Wetland is an aquatic system. River is an aquatic system. Okay, then estuary is an aquatic ecosystem. Okay, these are the different aquatic ecosystems. Next, it is about man-made ecosystem. Man-made ecosystem are the ecosystem which is made by human beings. Okay, so we can see example as crop field. Okay, you see if you are planning to cultivate a crop in a piece of land, then we can say that particular ecosystem. Okay, there if you are planting some trees or plants. Okay, plants is there. This plants gets interacted with all the non-living components as light, water, nutrients. Okay, inorganic nutrients. Okay, all the things are getting interacted. That means it is an ecosystem. So man-made ecosystem are the ecosystem which is made by human beings, and which example we can give as an agricultural field or crop field. Then another example is aquarium, which is so beautiful. Mostly every people will have this aquarium in homes and in their offices. Even in your study table you can find aquarium, right? A small bowl. Okay, so that's all about the different classification of ecosystem. Once again, it is terrestrial ecosystem, then we can see aquatic ecosystem, and also we can find man-made ecosystem. Okay, so let's see ecosystem structure and its function. Okay, how ecosystem is made up of. Okay, so I told you that it is the interaction between biotic and abiotic components. So we have to understand what are the biotic components and what are the abiotic components. Okay, so see, interaction of biotic and abiotic components result in the physical structure of ecosystem. When the organisms are interacting with non-living substances, there what is formed, an ecosystem is formed. Okay, so if we are considering the species present inside that, if we want to study about that species, we have to identify that species and also we have to mark that species. So we can say identification and enumeration of plant and animal species of an ecosystem gives the species composition. Okay, so if there is a particular small piece of land, if we want to study both plants and animals present inside that species composition, if we want to study the species composition, we have to understand or we have to identify. Okay, we have to identify the species, we have to enumerate the species and both the animal and plant species of that particular ecosystem to give its species composition. Okay, so clear? Okay, fine. Then if we are considering the part of an ecosystem. Okay, see, let's say a forest ecosystem. Okay, more trees have the higher canopy, right? Trees will occupy the higher canopy. Then we can say shrubs place in a particular position. If we consider tall trees in the forest will occupy the higher area. Okay, then we can say shrubs, small plants occupy. Okay, then this, let's see, herbs occupy the next space, then the grasses will occupy another space. Okay, so we can say the tree is in one position, the tree is in one position. Okay, shrubs is in another position. Okay, herbs is in another position, grass is in another position, right? So we can say the vertical distribution, see, it is the vertical distribution, right? So the vertical distribution of different species occupying different level. Okay, vertical distribution, underline this and study. Okay, note it in your notebook. Vertical distribution of different species occupying different levels. See, this occupy this level. This trees, shrubs occupy this level, and all the herbs occupy in this particular level, and grass occupy in the lower level. So in different level, it is called stratification. Dear student, you can get at least a 1 mark question from this particular sentence. Okay, what is stratification or define stratification and its different levels. Okay, once again, vertical distribution of different species occupying different level is called stratification. For example, we can say trees, shrubs, herbs and grasses. Okay, fine, got it, understood. Then see, next one, it is about the different aspects of ecosystem. Okay, we have to understand what are the different, sorry, what are the different aspects of the ecosystem? What are the different aspects of the ecosystem? See, we can say productivity is one aspect. Okay, first when we are discussing the topics, we have said that we have to understand or study about productivity. So we can say productivity is one aspect of ecosystem. Then second aspect is decomposition. Okay, it is also a familiar term that we have already learned in grade 10. Okay, next it is about energy flow. Okay, in this chapter, we have to study productivity and decomposition in a detailed manner. We just want to understand how energy is flowing from one trophic level to the next trophic level. Okay, that's it. Then about nutrient cycling. What is nutrient cycling? Nutrient cycling means it is the movement of nutrients from one particular organism to the next level of organisms. Okay, so these are the different aspects of ecosystem. Let's see these aspects of ecosystem with an example of pond ecosystem. Okay, so let's see. Consider an example of pond ecosystem. Okay, so here we hunt or we know that what is an ecosystem. Ecosystem, it is the interaction of organism. Okay, that means living organism or biotic organisms and with abiotic factors. So we can see or we can look into the different biotic and abiotic factors of the pond ecosystem. Okay, so what are the abiotic factors which is present in the pond ecosystem? Let's draw a pond ecosystem. Okay, so if you are considering pond ecosystem, there is load of water. Okay, there is load of water inside, right? So we can say that water belongs to the abiotic factor. Okay, water with all its dissolved inorganic and organic substance considered to be an abiotic factor. So next one, rich soil deposits. See, if you are looking into a pond ecosystem, you can find a rich soil deposits underneath. So that rich soil deposits at the bottom or underneath are considered as abiotic factor. Simple, right? So next, solar input. See, pond is getting enough solar light, energy, solar energy. Okay, so we can say that solar input is also considered to be as an abiotic factor. Okay, then what is next? It is temperature, different temperatures, right? Sometimes it will be so hot, sometimes it will be so cool, right? So this temperature are included in the factor as abiotic factor. Then day length, how much sunlight is getting into the pond ecosystem, that is also considered to be as an abiotic factor. And other climatic conditions, okay, different climatic conditions including the temperature, weather, etc., can be included into the abiotic factor. See, all these abiotic factors have to be coordinated with the biotic factors to make an ecosystem. Okay, so next we can consider about the biotic factors present inside that. Okay, so you know about the term biotic from the lower class itself, right? Biotic means living, simple. So there are three different biotic factors included in an ecosystem. What are they? They are producers. Producers simply means one who produce something, right? So who are producers or who belongs to the producers in a pond ecosystem? Surely it will be phytoplanktons. Okay, phytoplanktons. Then some small green algae will be present. Then floating, submerged and marginal plants, which is floating plants, okay, over the water surface. And sometimes we can see the plants which is growing on the sides, on the verges of the pond. These plants are also considered as producers. Okay, so we can say green synthetic, photosynthetic plants are considered to be the producers, including phytoplanktons, the small plants. Okay. So next it is from producers, it will be moving to the next part, that is consumers. The producers produce the energy, okay, and this energy is consumed by the next level of organisms, okay. We can say that are zooplanktons, okay, inside the pond ecosystem, we can say zooplanktons are the consumers. So if we are also considering the fishes which we are putting, we human beings are keeping inside the pond, then the fishes are also considered to be the consumers. Okay, clear. The next one, decomposers in the pond ecosystem. Who are the decomposers? We can say fungus, okay, fungi, bacteria and flagellates, small, minute, microscopic organisms, and also fungus along with flagellates include decomposers which decompose the substances, which decomposes the organic substance into inorganic substances. We'll see detail later. Okay, so is this clear? So if we consider an ecosystem, we already said that it is the interaction between the abiotic factors and the biotic factors. Now you understand, right, how these factors are interacting with the abiotic factors to form a particular ecosystem. Okay, let's see how all the aspects are working here. Okay, so we have said about productivity, then we have said about decomposition, energy flow, and nutrient cycle. Okay, let's see how it is placed in this particular ecosystem. See, if you are considering an ecosystem, first what happens? See, plants is there, right? Plants is present. So what happens to the plants? Plants traps the solar energy. They traps the solar or light energy. What happens here? What happens here? Plants, it performs the process called photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis is performed and later on what is formed? Organic material is formed. Okay, what is formed? Organic material. Organic material is formed. Okay, so we can say the first process or the first step is conversion of inorganic into organic material with the help of radiant energy. See here, solar energy, you know how the photosynthesis is taking place, right? Photosynthesis takes place with the help of carbon dioxide, then water and solar energy or light energy. All these are considered to be inorganic substances. Okay, so inorganic substances are converted into organic materials with the help of radiant energy with light energy. Okay, next what happens? This energy is formed. Okay, organic material is formed. This organic material is readily available for the next level of organisms. Okay, so we can say consumption of autotrophs by the heterotrophs. These autotrophs are plants. Plants are the autotrophs. Next level, what happens? Plants are consumed by consumers or heterotrophs. Okay, so next later on, what happens when this heterotrophs is dead? What happens? Decomposition takes place. That means decomposition and mineralization of the dead matter to release them back for reuse by the phototrophs. In this chapter, this is the whole content that we are going to study. Okay, this is a short version. We are going to study it in a detailed form. Okay, is it clear for you? If yes, you can give me a thumbs. Okay, so next we have to discuss about productivity. Simple, small concept. Okay, what is productivity? See, it is saying something about production, right? Productivity. It is about producing something. Okay, who is producing in our ecosystem? Who is producing or who acts as producers? We know that it is plants. Okay, as I told before, plants, it undergoes what? What process it undergoes? It undergoes a process called photosynthesis to produce organic substances. Okay, to produce organic substances. So the production of that organic substances are known as, or organic material is known as productivity. Simple. Very simple. Okay, so we can say the basic requirement of an organism or ecosystem is the constant input of the solar energy. Why it is said like that? See, if the solar energy is in very little amount or a very low requirement, then what happens? There will be photosynthesis, the rate of photosynthesis will be very low. So, if there is no photosynthesis means the whole system will be delayed. Okay, productivity will be delayed. We can say primary production. Next, we have to study about primary production. Okay, productivity can be classified into two, that is primary productivity and secondary productivity. Let's say first primary productivity. It is defined as the amount of biomass or organic matter produced per unit area over a time period by plants during photosynthesis. Okay, so let's say there is a small piece of land. Okay, let's see the small piece of land. There are a lot of plants in this plant in this land. Okay, there are lot of plants in this land. So all the plants which is present in this piece of land has the ability to produce, right? It can undergo a process called photosynthesis. There what happens? Organic material is formed, and that organic material which is produced in a unit area under or in a time period, in a particular time period, it is said to be the primary production. Okay, or primary productivity. Then how it is expressed? How this it is expressed? It is expressed in the terms of weight. Okay, how productivity is expressed? It is expressed in the terms of weight and also in the terms of energy. Kilocal meter raised to minus 2. Okay, so the rate of biomass production is called productivity. The first we have said, right? The organic material or organic matter is produced. That production or rate of production rate of biomass production is called productivity. First, we have to understand what is productivity and what are the two different types of productivity. It is primary productivity and secondary productivity. Primary productivity means it is the production of organic matter in a unit area over a time period. Okay, and how it is expressed? It can be expressed both in terms of weight and also in terms of energy. Okay, so let's see about this primary productivity in detail. Okay, so we can say productivity can be divided into gross primary productivity and net primary productivity. These are very important. Okay, these are very important. Why? Because in this chapter, the most probable chance for asking the question is about this topic. Okay, what is gross primary productivity and what is net primary productivity? Also, there is a chance of asking about productivity, primary productivity, but we can say the focus can be given to productivity, types of productivity, gross primary productivity and net primary productivity. So, what is gross primary productivity? Gross primary productivity. See, as we have discussed about primary productivity, right? We have discussed about primary productivity. That means plants, it produce organic matter It produces organic matter. What organic matter it is producing? It is producing glucose, right? Organic matter after photosynthesis. This is primary productivity. We will say that it is primary productivity. Okay, so we can say gross primary productivity of an ecosystem is the rate of production of organic matter produced during photosynthesis. Okay, how much organic matter is produced after photosynthesis? That is that is that is gross primary productivity, or we can say GPP, gross primary productivity. Okay, so the now if a plant is, we can say, if I am drawing a plant here, okay, a plant here, this plant is undergoing what? Photosynthesis. Okay, consider organic matter is produced. Okay, let's say 100 it can be expressed in weight, right? So we can say 100 gram is produced. Okay, 100 gram is produced. Organic matter as 100 gram. Okay, so those full 100 gram can be considered to be the gross primary productivity. It is fully utilized by it. It is there for the utilization of the plants itself. Okay, next we have to study about net primary productivity. Okay, what is net primary productivity? See, the plant require this organic matter for its survival. Okay, and also during respiration, see the plant is respiring, right? Plant is respiring. So during respiration, certain amount of energy is lost. Okay, that amount of energy, if we minus the respiratory loss from GPP, what we will get? We will get NPP. Okay, net primary productivity. What is actually net primary productivity? NPP is equal to GPP minus R. What is R? R is the respiratory loss. Okay, R is the respiratory loss. For example, as I have told there, 100 gram was present, right? 100 gram of energy was present. So if for respiration 20 gram is utilized. Okay, for respiration the plant is utilizing 20 gram. Rest 80 gram is there. Okay, 80 gram of organic matter will be there. That 80 gram of organic matter is readily available for the herbivores. Okay, readily available for the next trophic level organism. So we can say net primary productivity is the available biomass for the consumption to the heterotrophs. What are heterotrophs? Actually, herbivores are heterotrophs, and also sometimes it is getting or it is given to the decomposers. Okay, we will give the primary concern to the herbivores. Understood? Clear? Okay, so what is NPP? It is GPP minus R. Okay, so next we will discuss about the secondary productivity. What is secondary productivity? Primary productivity is completely regarding with the plants and the herbivores. Okay, next we will consider the consumers. Consumers are also forming organic material, right? Organic material in their body. Okay, so the organic material, rate of formation of organic materials for the consumers or by the consumers are known as secondary productivity. Okay, what is secondary productivity? Secondary productivity, it is defined as the rate of formation of new organic matter by consumers. Okay, who are consumers? Plants. We know that they are herbivores, right? Sorry, plants. Plants is taken by next level of organism, that is herbivores. Okay, so we can say herbivores are can be considered as consumers. Inside the consumers, if we are saying this is a grass. Okay, it is taken by rabbit. Okay, it is taken by rabbit. 80 gram was present, right? 80 gram was present, and this 80 gram, it will be utilizing only a few grams, and a new energy will be produced there. New organic matter will be produced there, lot of consumption, after a lot of consumption, we can say 150 gram will be present. Okay, new energy, new organic matters is produced. So we can say that production is known as secondary productivity. Okay, that is about secondary productivity. So you understand about the primary productivity. When we discuss primary productivity, remember we have to learn about gross primary productivity and net primary productivity. Then second one is secondary productivity, which is dealing with consumers. Okay, so we have to study about the primary productivity depends upon what factors. Okay, let's see. First one, plant species inhabiting a particular area, right? A small area, if you're considering a small unit area, the plants, different types of plants will be present there. So that particular plant species which is inhabiting that particular area determines the rate of productivity. Okay. Second one, variety of environmental factors. Okay, different plants need different environmental factors to grow. Okay, or different rate of photosynthesis in different plants is different. So we can say the environmental factors also plays an important role for the productivity. Then availability of nutrients. Okay, availability of nutrients also determine the productivity. Photosynthetic capacity of plants. If photosynthetic capacity is less, productivity will be less. If photosynthetic capacity is more, the productivity will be more. So these are the four important factors. Okay, please make a note on this. Okay, what are the different factors? Factors is rely on for the productivity or primary productivity. Okay, so primary productivity varies in different types of ecosystem. As we have said, we can consider a pond ecosystem and also we can consider a forest ecosystem. See, where does the plants is more inside a forest or inside a pond? We can say that it is in the forest ecosystem, but sometimes if phytoplanktons are more, okay, if the surface area of phytoplanktons are more, then pond ecosystem will give more productivity. So we can say or we can conclude that primary productivity varies in different ecosystem. Fine, understood. Okay, so next one, it is about next topic, it is decomposition. What is decomposition? Okay, simple, right? If something, if you are drawing, this is a soil. Okay, this is a tree. The tree gets older and the leaf is going down. Okay, leaf is moving down. It is over the surface of the soil. Now the soil is rich in leaf. Okay, all this matter, all this organic matter have to be converted. These are organic matters, right? These are organic matters. These organic matters will be converted into inorganic matters. Okay, these organic matters are converted into inorganic matters. Okay, so that conversion of organic matter into inorganic matters are known as decomposition. It is done by the organisms, earthworms. Okay, earthworm prior. Then next one, when detritus is formed, bacteria and fungus will be acting upon that. Okay, so earthworm is considered as the farmer's friend. It is also a question. Okay, CBSE have a tendency to ask the give a sentence, and this sentence we have to justify the answer. Okay, so earthworm is considered as the farmer's friend. Why? Why they are considered as farmer's friend? Justify your answer. That will be the question. Okay, so how you will answer? Why? They break down complex organic matter. Okay, complex organic matter into inorganic matter. Okay, they what happens? They uh, break down the complex organic matter into simple inorganic matters, and also it helps in the loose it helps in the loosening of the soil. Okay, it also helps in the loosening of the soil. Means if the soil is very thick, it helps into loosen the soil with different nutrients. Okay, so next one, it is decomposers break down complex organic matter into inorganic substance like carbon dioxide, water and nutrients. What are formed? See, we know that the organic complexes will be in the form of C6H12O6 glucose. Okay, or it will be in the form of stars. So these forms will be converted into what? Carbon dioxide, CO2, water, H2O, and also different nutrients present like micronutrients and macronutrients, which include sodium, potassium, okay, and magnesium. Both macro and micronutrients will be produced. Okay, and this process of conversion of organic matter, complex organic matter, what organic matter? Is complex organic matter into simple inorganic matter is known as decomposition. Is known as decomposition. Okay, so after decomposition, what happens? We can say detritus will be formed. Okay, first level of decomposition undergoes decomposition and forms detritus, and this detritus is then raw material for further decomposition. Okay, detritus will be acting as the further or raw material for further decomposition. Okay, got it. Then next, we can say what are the steps involved in decomposition. Okay, if we are considering decomposition, there are different steps involved, and what are the different steps involved? First one it is fragmentation. Okay, second one it is leaching. Third one it is catabolism. Fourth one it is humification, and last one is mineralization. Okay, there are 5 different steps, and what are the 5 steps? Fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification, and mineralization. Okay, so next we have to see what is fragmentation, what is leaching, what is catabolism, what is humification, and what is mineralization. See, first one, fragmentation. What is fragmentation? First we have the detritus. Okay, first we have detritus. This detritus is converted into smaller particles. Okay, smaller particles, and the conversion of detritus into smaller particles is known as fragmentation. It is known as fragmentation. Okay, so next, after fragmentation, what happens? Leaching will be happening. Small particles are present over the soil surface. Okay, small particles will be present, and from the small particles, all the substances, water soluble inorganic substances will be moving down into the soil horizon. Okay, so if it is precipitated into the deeper soil as a salt, how it is precipitated? It is precipitated as salt. The process of precipitating it into unavailable salt is known as leaching. So what is leaching? Water soluble inorganic nutrients. What happens to them? They go down into the soil horizon and get precipitated as unavailable salt. Okay, that process is known as leaching. Okay, the next one, catabolism. What is catabolism? The process of degradation of detritus into simpler inorganic substance by whom? Bacterial and fungal enzymes. Okay, if it is done by bacterial and fungal enzyme, if detritus, okay, if detritus, it is converted into simple inorganic substance. Okay, inorganic substance by the help of bacteria and fungal enzyme. By the help of bacteria, okay, bacteria or the fungal enzymes, then we will call that process as catabolism. Okay, that process as catabolism. Then next we have to study about humification. What is humification? Humification and mineralization occurs decomposition in the soil. When it is happening in the soil, what the process takes place. Okay, so before learning, okay, fine. Humification. Let's see what is humification. See, the dead and decaying matter is present, right? Dead and decaying matter is present in the soil. So the humification process is the process of formation of humus. What is produced after humification? Humus is produced. What is produced after humification? Humus is produced. Okay. See, there are some dead and decaying matter after the decomposition or after the humification. What is formed? Humus is formed. Okay, so dear students, there will be sometimes question about the humus to write about the characteristic feature of humus. Okay, so what are humus? Humus are dark colored amorphous substance after the decomposition. It is highly resistant to microbial action and undergo slow conversion. Once the substance, okay, once the organic substance is converted into humus, then the process, the decomposition process will be very slow process. Okay, and that substance, okay, that dark colored amorphous substance after the decomposition is known as humus. Okay, then the last process is mineralization. Okay, last process is mineralization. What is mineralization? Here you understood that what is formed? Humus is formed. Okay, what is formed? Humus is formed. This humus is again degraded by some microbes. Is again degraded by microbes and produce inorganic nutrients. And it produces inorganic nutrients. Okay, what it produces? It produces inorganic nutrients. Okay, and the process of formation of inorganic nutrients from humus by the microbes is known as mineralization. Okay, so all the five processes have been discussed. First, we have discussed about fragmentation. Then we have discussed about um, uh, leaching, catabolism, then humification, and last one we have learned about mineralization. Okay, so this is a diagram. This is a flow diagram which shows the process, which is decomposition process in plants. Okay, see, a tree which is grown in the soil, leaf falls into the ground. What happens to the leaf? Some are eaten and by the insects. Okay, the insects are eaten, taken the leaves and nutrient and energy into enter into the food web. Okay, some nutrients which is present here, it is moved into the soil. So organic rich soil is formed. Okay, then what happens to some of these leaves have been partially consumed by the decomposers, such as fungi and bacteria. They begin to lose form and become litter. Then this one will again undergo further decomposition by bacteria and mites and produce organic rich soil. This organic rich soil, that means it contains inorganic substance. Okay, it contains inorganic nutrients. Okay, these inorganic nutrients are consumed by the trees or the plants which is growing there. Okay, clear? Fine. So next one is about climatic factors which influence the activities of soil, microbes and regulate decomposition, or how the decomposition process is regulated. Okay, as you know, for any process it is very much required the temperature, the sunlight, etc. Right? The same thing is also here. What are the temperature is required, soil moisture is required. Okay, sun and soil moisture, what is the condition for soil moisture for decomposition? It should be very warm and moist condition. Okay, that condition will encourage decomposition. If we are doing some, see, if this is a soil, if we put some organic material, that means some leaf over the surface of the soil and put some water over there. Okay, and with the condition is very warm, then what happens? Decomposition occurs very fast. Okay, if it is not warm condition, if it is too dry condition or very heat condition, what happens? The rate of decomposition will be coming low. Okay, and also one more another condition, if very low temperature, okay, very low temperature means -1 degree, 0 degrees Celsius, you know, right? So that condition, and also anaerobiosis, that means without oxygen, what happens? It prevents decomposition. Okay, so what prevents decomposition? Low temperature and anaerobiosis prevent the decomposition. Okay, so next one we have to study about energy flow. Okay, how energy is flowing from one trophic level to, or one level to the next level. So see, my dear students, let's write. There are some plants. Okay, so here we can draw the sun. Okay, sun, it is given, the energy is given to plants. Okay, plants, it is taken by the herbivores, right? It is taken by herbivores. From herbivores, it is taken by carnivores. Okay, it is taken by carnivores. So see how the energy is moving. Here light energy is there. This light energy is then converted into the organic components. Okay, that energy is then taken by the herbivores. From herbivores, the energy is taken by the carnivores. You have to understand, from carnivores, the energy is not moving to the herbivores. It is not going into the opposite direction, or from plants, the sun is not taking the energy. So we can say always the energy flow is unidirectional. Okay, always the energy flow is unidirectional. That means it moves from sunlight to the top carnivores. Okay, understood? Clear? Solar energy, it moves. Solar energy, it is trapped by the producers, then it is given to the consumers. Okay, producers, who are producers? The green plants in ecosystem are producers. We can say there are two different types of producers according to the habitat of the producers. If it is in land area, we can say that they are terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, producers are herbaceous and woody plants act as the producers. Okay, if it is aquatic ecosystem, phytoplankton, algae and higher plants will be considered to be the producers in the aquatic ecosystem. Understood? So that's all about producers, and also how the energy is moving from one level to the next level. Okay, so next one we have to understood certain terms. We know that it producers from terrestrial and from aquatic ecosystem who acts as the producers. Okay, next it is about consumers, all animals. Sorry, all animals which depends on the plants. Okay, all animals which depends upon the plants, sometimes directly or indirectly we can consider the as consumers. Why they are depending upon the plants? They are depending upon the plants for their food needs. They are depending upon the plants for the food needs. Okay, so we can say there are primary consumers and secondary consumers. Okay, so let's write once again, plants. Okay, you know that plants is there, right? So from plants it moves to the herbivores. Herbivores. Okay, so after herbivores it is taken by the consumers, that is carnivores. Okay, so after carnivores it will be taken by the top carnivores. Top carnivores. Okay, so plants are considered. Okay, so we can say plants are considered to be the primary producers. Okay, they are, plants are considered to be the primary producers. Okay, herbivores are primary consumers. Okay, they are primary consumers. Carnivores, they are secondary consumers. We can say they are secondary consumers. Okay, if you are considering top carnivores, we can say they are the tertiary consumers. Okay, they are the tertiary consumers. Clear? They are the tertiary consumers. Fine? Right. So, we can say a simple grazing food chain. Okay, grazing food chain. Grazing food chain is depicted below here. Simple, right? This grass is the producer. Okay, goat is there, goat will be acting as the primary consumer. Man is there, man will be considered as secondary consumer. This consumer can be taken. Okay, it is actually here, secondary consumer. Okay, so this is a simple grazing food chain. One more type of food chain is present, detritus food chain or DFC. Okay, so detritus food chain. What is detritus food chain? Decompose the dead and decaying matter, right? So that condition or that food chain is known as detritus food chain. Organisms that depend on dead and decaying matter for nutrition is known as saprotrophs. The term we have studied in grade 10, right? What is saprotrophs? Saprotrophs are the organisms which depend on dead and decaying organic matter, and example which rely on saprotrophs or which rely on organic matters, dead and decaying matter is bacteria and fungi. Okay, bacteria and fungi. So what is the bacteria and fungi? What they produce? They produce digestive enzymes. Okay, what is the role of this digestive enzyme? They break down the dead and decaying waste material into simple inorganic material which are subsequently absorbed by the plants and other organisms. Okay, simple it is. That means if there is soil present, there are different leaves over there. Okay, so there are different bacteria also present, bacteria or fungus also present. So we can draw this bacteria like this now. Okay, so what is the role of this bacteria and the fungus present? Okay, all these bacteria and fungus will release chemicals or enzymes. Okay, and this enzyme will convert the organic matter which is present over the soil into inorganic materials. And then that inorganic materials is readily available. Okay, inorganic materials are produced. That inorganic materials are readily available in the soil. That inorganic material is readily available in the soil, and this is then absorbed by the plants. Simple concept. Okay, the same thing that we have discussed from the beginning. Then next term you have to study is about food web. Okay, this also you have learned in grade 10. In I think the chapter is our environment, right? So what is food web? The natural interconnection of food chains. You know different food chain, right? Grazing food chain and detritus food chain. Okay, the grazing food chain and detritus food chain and their natural interconnection of the food chain, different food chain forms the food web. Okay, forms the food web. Also, based on the source of their nutrition or food, organisms occupy a specific place in the food chain. Okay, and that is known as trophic level. This term is very important. Okay, what is trophic level? Okay, what is trophic level? See, the food chain, if you are looking into food chain, each particular organism in that food chain occupy a space. Okay, and that particular space is known as trophic level. Okay, that particular place of food chain organism which is placed uh, in a particular place or specific place in the food chain, and that is known as trophic level. As I have already said, producers, they are the first trophic level. Okay, they are the first trophic level. Herbivores, they are considered to be primary consumer, they are the second trophic level. Carnivores are the third trophic level. So plants, 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 they are first trophic level. They belongs to first trophic level. Okay, then from plants, who's there? Herbivores is there. Herbivores occupies the second level. Herbivores, it occupies the second level. Okay, then third level it is carnivores. Carnivores, it is third level. Okay, then if top carnivores present, then it will be in the fourth position. This is the position of different organisms in the trophic system. Okay, then, okay, fine. So we can say this is the primary producer. Okay, this is the primary producer where you can find the first trophic level, it is plants. Okay, first trophic level it is plants. What are the examples? Phytoplankton, grass, trees are the example. Okay, then from primary producers produced and produces the energy, and it is taken by the primary consumer. Okay, who is primary consumer? They are the second trophic level. They belongs to the second trophic level. Who are they? They are herbivores. Okay, then zooplankton, grasshopper and cow can be considered as primary consumers. Okay, then secondary consumer is present, that they are placed in the third trophic level. They are carnivores. We can say birds, fishes, voles, example. Okay, then next one, tertiary consumers are present. They are placed in the fourth trophic level. They are considered to be the top carnivore, example man and lion. Okay, you have to study this table. Okay, it is very, very important. Okay, so next, the amount of energy decreases a successive trophic level. You are considering, if you are considering the energy level, okay, if plants occupy the most of the energy, and when it move to the next energy level, the energy is less in the coming or upcoming levels. Okay, so next we have to study about the term standing crop. What is standing crop? Each trophic level has certain mass of living material at a particular time, and it is called standing crop. Dear students, we can expect a question, a 1 mark question to define standing crop. Usually they ask, CBSE tends to ask this question. Okay, what is standing crop? What is standing crop? Each trophic level has certain mass of living material. See, this is primary level, right? This is primary level. Then next one secondary level. Then next one tertiary level. Okay, so we can say this is producers. If this is producers, there are a certain mass of energy during this phase. Okay, then if we are considering the primary consumers, they also have produce a living mass, certain mass. Okay, that certain mass which is there in each level is known as standing crop. Okay, so next we can say the standing crop is measured as the mass of living organism or the number in a unit area. Okay, the biomass of species can expressed in terms of fresh or dry weight. Normally, dry weight is considered to be as more accurate. Okay, then we have to understand about 10 percentage low. Okay, 10 percentage low. What does 10 percentage low? See, if this is the sun, if this is the sun, from the sun only 1% of sunlight is utilized by the plants. Okay, and their energy is formed. Okay, amount of 100% of energy is formed. Then from there only 10% of energy is moving to the next level, that is towards the carnivores. Okay, from here only 10% of energy is moving to not carnivores, it is herbivores. Okay, plants energy is moving to herbivores. From herbivores only 10% of energy will be moving. Rest of the energy will be moved as heat. Okay, herbivores, carnivores or gets only 10 percentage. Carnivores got get only 10 percentage of energy from, that means only 10 percentage of energy is transferred from one trophic level to the next trophic level. The number of trophic level in the grazing food chain is restricted as transfer of energy follows 10 percentage low. Only 10 percentage of the energy is transferred to each trophic level from the lower trophic level. Okay, so that simple it is. From each trophic level only the 10 percentage of energy is transferred. Okay, then next, see here you can find the image which is saying about the energy flow. Okay, sun, here you can find the sun. Only 1% of energy is 1% of sunlight. Okay, solar radiant is moving to the plants to produce the organic material by photosynthesis. The rest of the light energy is moving as heat. Okay, from here 10% of energy is moving to the next level, herbivores. Okay, and rest of the it is moving as heat. Again, the 10% will moving to the third trophic level or third trophic secondary consumers. Okay, that is carnivores. Okay, next it will be moving to the tertiary consumers or top carnivores. Later, that it will be removed as heat. Okay, understood? Clear? Then it is the final topic of this chapter. It is about ecological pyramids. Okay, what is a pyramid? You can find the structure of pyramid as like this, right? A base, a broad base and a narrow top. Okay, so we can say a base of pyramid is broad and narrows towards the apex. See, this is very broad, and where we consider the apex, this region, it is very narrow. Okay, then ecological pyramids express the food or energy relationship between organisms at different trophic level. Okay, if we want to represent the energy level in a different organism or different trophic level, then we represent it by the help of ecological pyramids. Okay, the relationship is expressed in terms of number, biomass, and energy. Three types of pyramids are present. What are the three types of pyramids? It is pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. Dear student, it is also an important question. It is also an important question where there is more chance of asking question from this side for 2 mark or 3 marks. Okay, it is for sure for 2 mark or 3 mark the exam comes. Okay, mostly it will be for 3 marks to explain the things. There are things to explain. So we can predict the question from 2 or for 2 or 3 marks from this side. So it is important. So just study what is pyramid, how what represents the pyramid or what represent the base and what represent the nearer apex. And next we have to learn about what are the different types of pyramids. Okay, the three different types of pyramids, it includes pyramid of number, pyramid of energy, and pyramid of biomass. Okay, so always think that if you are considering the base of the pyramid, always the base is taken by, okay, base is taken by producers, plants occupy the base of the pyramid, and top carnivores occupy the apex of the pyramid. Okay, that is a condition. The apex represent the tertiary or top level consumer. Okay, so as I told, if you are considering the three types of pyramid, ecological pyramid, they are pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. Okay, so if you are considering pyramid of number, if there are, see, this will be a pyramid of number in a forest ecosystem. Okay, so we can see the number of trees are more there. Okay, so we can say that they producers or the plants are at the base. Plants are at the base. Okay, so next we can say less number of consumers are present. So these are primary consumers. Okay, they are primary consumers according to the number. Number is less, right? If you are considering the number of plants is more than the number of consumers. So it is represented as like this. Then next one we can consider the number of secondary consumer is less. Okay, the secondary consumers are less than the primary consumers. So it is moving like this. And last one, tertiary, it is very few in number. So it is represented like this. Okay, they are the tertiary consumers. They are the tertiary consumers. Okay, so that is all about number of pyramids. Same like this, number of pyramid of biomass also can be represented like this, and energy for sure we can draw only like this. This is an upright pyramid. Okay, this is an upright pyramid. Sometimes in some cases we can draw the pyramid of inverted pyramid. We can draw the inverted pyramid. Okay, inverted pyramid are also present. This inverted pyramids represent the lower number. Okay, if you are considering the plants, the number of plants will be less than that of the consumers. Okay, in that condition, what happens? In that condition, we'll get inverted pyramids. Inverted pyramids are possible only for pyramid of number and pyramid of biomass. It is not possible for pyramid of energy. Pyramid of energy, it can be only upright. Dear students, understand the statement. Always the pyramid of energy is upright. Okay, the inverted energy pyramid is not possible. Inverted pyramids can be possible for pyramid of number and pyramid of biomass. Okay, is it clear for you? Is it clear? Okay, fine. These are the different pyramids of biomass and different pyramids of number as I have represented. Okay, so that's all about this chapter. We are winding up this chapter. So I think you all are now familiar with the term ecosystem. What are the different components of ecosystem present? Okay, what are the different factors for ecosystem, biotic and abiotic factors, and how ecosystem is working. Okay, next we have discussed about productivity. What are productivity? Types of productivity, primary productivity and secondary productivity. Primary productivity, again we have to know about gross primary productivity and net primary productivity. Later we have discussed on decomposition, okay, decomposers, and also the different 5 stages of decomposition. Be thorough with the different 5 stages, okay. Then coming from there, we have studied about energy flow, 10% flow. Finally, we have discussed about different energy pyramids, not only energy pyramids, different ecological pyramids, okay. So that's all about the content in this chapter. If you are thorough with this chapter, at least you can score 5 marks from this one particular chapter, okay. So be thorough with this chapter and prepare for your examination. Stay tuned with us, Goscore, for more information and more knowledge contents. Thank you. Next day, next our teachers will be coming with our live sessions. Bye. Thank you.